now the big leg of Matt Prater ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Santa Clara. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. The Niners offense set to go to work, and it's last year's revelation, Brock Purdy, who leads them out in season number 2 from Iowa State.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
That's caught inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. An excellent pickup. And now the red flag out on the field. We'll have a challenge forthcoming. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Winds up a very good call there defensively to challenge that one, as that now will wind up an incomplete pass. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Caught. What a catch. Touchdown. Deebo Samuel, 61 yards. And the 49ers are on the board first here this afternoon. Let's make no bones about it. On paper, they're the better team. They're at home. That's a strong opening drive.
And just think how many times we've seen this type of a matchup. Just what you said. Better team at home should steamroll them. And we've seen it go the other way. Sometimes, though, they buy into it and understand we are the better team. Let's go out and prove it right now.
So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And a touchback as Dortch elects not to return it. The Cardinals offense set to take over for the first time, and they are piloted by their 5th-year quarterback, 2-time Pro Bowler as well, Kyler Murray.
And when you have a guy like Kyler Murray under center, it not only opens up your playbook, it allows you to draw up even more plays because he's among the best dual-threat quarterbacks in the league and a true playmaker. If flushed out of the pocket, he might even be more dangerous. The next step for him, being able to throw on rhythm and deliver from the pocket.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Running right on the option is Murray. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. 2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. To throw, it's Murray. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. Ray McLeod deep here for the Niners. This is taken at the 18. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And the Niners 49ers will go on offense. 1st and 10. Back out there comes the 49ers offense, ready for their second drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Fights through and now a crease. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. This will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. 2nd down and a little more than a yard here. Throwing here, Purdy. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And this is caught. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that one.
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Buda Baker, the safety, he gets in from the secondary for the sack. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Back to throw, Purdy. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open.
And across the goal line, into the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. Christian McCaffrey taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Niners lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. An extra point try now for Moody. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. 5 plays there on that drive. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They find themselves in a good-size hole here, and a good-size hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Chase Young, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
Well, partners, the first quarter, too early to start talking about needing a comeback. They're down 2 touchdowns already, and that sack, that disrupts this drive. They need
and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Gibson. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Forced out to his left. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Brock Purdy, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the 49ers take a 3-touchdown lead. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although
Like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Out of the gun, here's Murray. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Blake Gillikin on to punt here as he'll send this one away. McLeod to return it. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. But Charles, they're really stringing these possessions and scores together early. We're still in the first quarter, but if they can score again here, look out.
Yeah, and as you taught me when we're broadcasting games, one word we're supposed to avoid, and that's blowout. But that's exactly what's going on here. Down 3 possessions just the first quarter. That goes beyond any worst-case scenario we might have thought coming into this game. And another touchdown here, that should eliminate any hopes for any type of a comeback.
And he's brought down. His 4th catch already in this first quarter. It's a first down. Here's Purdy. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
I am willing to bet that he got a monster grin on his face when he saw what was happening. Man coverage were so committed to denying a big throw that it pulled attention away from him, and he had an easy lane to hit, and hit it he did.
21-0 our score after 1. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead, and part of that can be attributed to their success on 3rd downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this 1st and goal.
1st down, moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. Deebo Samuel with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the 49ers are able to add on to their first half lead. Just a great individual effort there to take that pop pass and scamper off into the end zone.
And that's why offenses love that play partner because that gives them a chance to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers with a full head of steam behind them. It's often like a track relay. Legs 2, 3, and 4.
That first guy steaming ahead, and he just hands it to you, and you get a chance to take off and go before you even get the baton.
So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The football back in the hands of the Arizona Cardinals. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. Now they'll try and set up the quarterback draw here. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him 4 yards as he does it himself, and it's a 1st down. Here's Murray. Eluding the pressure. Murray fighting. Lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Following the fumble recovery, Purdy. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Marco Wilson. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down. As you get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB. They started this drive backed up against the wall by the turnover, but I love their fight, planted their feet, and forced the incompletion on 1st down.
On 2nd down, here's Murray. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Credit the sack to Fred Warner. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. To throw is Murray. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now this is taking it right down Broadway. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. Well, Charles, I mean, things just seem to be getting worse and worse for one sideline. Or flip it over after that fumble return for a touchdown. Better and better on the opposite end. What an impressive first-half performance.
And, partner, I know the saying in the NFL goes that no lead is safe. But I will say that this one seems pretty secure. And if we continue to see plays like that, I'm going to switch back and say this lead is safe.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Here the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can. Oh, Connor loses it.
Wow, That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Eric Armstead. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's McLeod on the return. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit.
And this is caught. Touchdown 49ers. Juwan Jennings, 48 yards. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Now Moody for the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab.
There's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. 2nd down, Murray sets to throw. And the ball is knocked out. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in.
And this is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. It's a gain of 34.
Well, he looked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively, just too hard to keep him under wraps, and delivers a big play here for this offense.
Purdy looking to throw. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and it'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Purdy now to throw. Steps away to his left. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Brock Purdy taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Niners just continue to roll. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And he'll be out of bounds well short of the goal line, so the attempt at the fake extra point unsuccessful.
I know they're not asking me, but I'll give you my opinion anyway. I think it's time to erase that play from the call sheet. I guess they figure with the big lead they can experiment a little bit. But all in all, just go ahead and put that play on ice.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And a nice return sets him up. The football going back over to Arizona now. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Murray now on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is going to be 49er football. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. Purdy now to throw off the play action. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But third down coming up. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. Breaks the tackle, now an alley. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 62 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. Purdy will set up to throw it here. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. It's Zaven Collins who got in there to get the sack. Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal. Now a draw play to McCaffrey. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Christian McCaffrey in the final seconds of the first half. And the Niners would extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of... Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And he gets in. But no one was expecting it. Folks never see nowadays. When you fake it, you're at the 15-yard line on a PAT as opposed to just going for it from the 2.
I'm sorry. I know they got it, and congratulations to them, but it's just not a good play. I mean, the risk-reward is really off the charts, not in your favor. Run your offense out there, put it on the 2-yard line if you want to go for 2, but I'll be darned. They ended up getting that one, didn't they?
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. And Murray in trouble here, and down he goes. That is Nick Bosa from out on the edge who worked his way in for the sack. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into... Apologies to Coach. Cut him short. We'll talk to him post-game. We got business to get down to. Third quarter action ready to go. It'll be the Cardinals who get the ball first. They trail here as we resume action in the third quarter. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Cardinals ready to go here to start the third quarter. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally...
Murray has it knocked loose. Fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. In motion right, Debo. He'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they...
Brandon Ayuk with an acrobatic catch. And the Niners are able to capitalize on the forced fumble by turning it into 6 points. Moody good with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was Brandon Ayuk capping it off with a touchdown reception. So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. Now Greg Dortch going to bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
Murray now to throw. And this will be swung out here for counter. And he loses the football the second time. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Second time he's fumbled in this game. Fortunate for him, this one goes out of bounds.
And the key for him now is how much equity have you built up with your coaching staff? How much equity have you built up with your team to continue to get opportunities? Fortunate that one went out of bounds, saved him from a turnover. This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Murray going to throw. Murray fighting, lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And now off to the races down the right side. Down the sideline he goes, and he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Moody good with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field.
But the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
57, Mike, 57.
Now Murray. Quick slant to Brown.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This is brought in at the 21. A very takeover. And San Francisco gets set to go here.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
The throw over the middle, taken in. Oh, and now some space to operate. Touchdown, 49ers. Brandon Ayuk, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the 49ers get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. The extra point try now for Moody. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Arizona's offense back out and ready to go. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. 2nd down and 8. Throwing now is Murray. A short one here, caught by McBride. And that's good for a gain of 6. And 3rd and 1 now.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender.
Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. Purdy. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And got his man, complete. Look at the big man rumble. Touchdown, 49ers. Charlie Warner, 92 yards. And the 49ers have got it on cruise control. Moody good with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And a touchback as Dortch elects not to return it. The Cardinal offense takes back over. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Murray's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now it's 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Murray going to try to throw on 3rd down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. And incomplete here to bring up 4th down as the rookie couldn't haul it in. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, 49ers. Deebo Samuel, 71 yards. And the Niners add 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the 4th. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to...
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And did he get the football to break the play? No, he did not. They'll say he's out of bounds, shy of the goal line, and they'll be denied on the two-point conversion.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number one, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number two, if you are going to go for two, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
So out now come the Cardinals.
It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the fourth quarter and a big deficit, Charles, but they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any posts.
Fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the fourth quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Throwing on second down, it's Purdy.
And this one is incomplete.
Up huge on the scoreboard, and they're still trying to add to their total. That shot doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll dissuade them from attempting another one.
And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
So Purdy off and Moody on for the 49er field goal.
From the left hash, this from 39. And he'll try and throw here on the fake. And the gamble fails. It's incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Murray now.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's Murray.
A throw to the flat for Carter.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. Return there, call it 13 yards.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Deebo Samuel trotting out with his offense to start this.
Well, 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought.
From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8. Now Purdy.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Back to throw. Purdy. And he nearly got the 1st himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. Decent gain on the scramble at 6, but now it's 4th. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake, and the gamble pays off. They get the 1st. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the 1st. Looking to throw. Purdy. And he will find his man, Samuel.
Missed.
He will not go down. Touchdown. Deebo Samuel, 46 yards. And the 49ers extend their lead yet again. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all three phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review.
So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And he's tackled a yard. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. From the gun, Murray.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. Deebo Samuel and the 49ers back in possession here.
What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdowns.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big play there for the Niners. 46 yards.
And even with the game seemingly in hand, they're continuing to fire away, pressing the ball down the field. Listen, it's worked all day. No reason to go away from it now.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Purdy. And he floated one out there, incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly be, but as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago. Well, this has certainly turned into a showcase game for what he can do on the ground because they're just continuing to give him chances to run it, and he's earning every additional carry by putting up positive yardage on each run.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you could always get the backup some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up. It's fun.
I love the way that you expressed that because you gave plenty of reasons why people like to do things. But ultimately, they just like to keep their foot on the gas, and they just want to tromp on teams. And what I like to see is, if you like to do that, how do you handle it when it comes back against you? On those days where someone can run it up on you, do you handle it the way that you expect your opponent to? If so, keep doing your thing.
Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started.
I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0.
The ball comes out, and now this is scooped up by the 49ers. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. On first down, this is McCaffrey. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the...
And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
So Purdy off and Moody on for the 49er field goal.
Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Cardinals offense ready to set up shop. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny. I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
That's a loss of 8 yards there to bring up 3rd. Shotgun now from Murray. Over the middle here to Brown. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that'll bring up 4th down. So the victory here for San Francisco. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, offer a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step.